everyone, and welcome to another episode of Jumpstart Monday. This is Michael Virardi, and we're here once again with another episode of Jumpstart Monday. It's the 22nd of November, and just to let you know that we're broadcasting live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. We're going to get to your comments in just a little while after we finish, and please feel free to share this episode with your friends, with your colleagues, and so you can give more visibility and more knowledge to the people out there. If you just join us, please drop us a note, tell us from where you're watching us, if it's Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, to make sure that everything is working correctly. So we're here for another episode on tips on how to improve as a leader, as a manager, and as a human being. Today, we're looking at high achievers, and we will see that almost all of them are very intentional when it comes to their time. For example, Elon Musk is set to be dividing his time into 5-minute slots and allocating those slots to his business, to his new ventures and ideas, but also to his family. I once read a book by Brian Tracy, which was titled Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. And in there, I found something very rational. He said that wealthy people plan their kids' education years in advance, whereas drug addicts think of the next minute. They think of their next dose. I'm not telling you to be exactly like Elon Musk. I'm not dividing my day also in 5-minute slot, but surely there are 4 tips today that you can apply and become a high achieving individual by using your time wisely. So let's start with principle number 1, and it's the one that you now see on your screen. It says, guard your time like you guard your bank account. Let me put it up on the screen because 1 second, Sophia didn't put it up on the screen. I'll put it now. Guard your time like you guard your bank account. Time is a finite resource. This means that rich or poor, healthy or unhealthy, have 86,400 seconds per day, whereas joy and love are infinite. No matter how many kids we have, 99% of parents can give more and more love to their kids. So let me give you an example so we can understand it better. One of my mentees, Konstantinos Panos, who is a gifted jeweler and has a very successful business with 2 jewelry shops, came recently to me and he asked me in the mentorship session, Michael, how can I grow my business? And I asked him a few questions, and after I heard his whole situation, I said, Konstantinos, instead of thinking of growing the business, increasing your jewelry shops, and tapping on the finite resource, which is time, and will probably, even if you're successful, cause some stress, why don't you think the other way around? Why don't you become smaller, more beautiful, and at the end of the day, more profitable? And you can do that in 2 ways. First and foremost, instead of offering jewels that start from that end at 37,000 or 40,000 euros and go down all the way to 20 euros, limit the price range and start from 1,000. Yes, you will lose out on certain people. Your target group will be smaller, but at the same time, your finite resource, which is time, will become an ally because you will have less people to service. And the same holds true because one of Konstantinos' main principles when he was starting out was to service everyone, even those who didn't buy jewelry from him, and it still applies until today. So I said, give them a grace period, all the others that haven't bought from you, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, and then start repairing all the jewels that have been bought from you. In other words, principle number 1 is tapping on the finite resource, which is time, and investing in the infinite resources, which is love, which is joy, which is ample time with your family and even with yourself. So principle number 1 is guard your time like you guard your bank account. And this takes us to principle number 2, and it is the one that you now see on your screen. Clearly define your goals. There was a research done many years ago at the Harvard graduating class, an MBA Harvard graduating class. They asked all the MBA graduates 30 years ago, even more, if they had any goals. 96% of them had no other goal rather than to have a great time during the summer because, as you know, Harvard is a very demanding university. 3% had goals, but only in their mind, and 1% had goals written down. So they tracked this class for 30 consecutive years. After 30 years, here's what they've seen. The 3% who had goals only written in their mind were worth 2 times more than the other 96% in terms of net worth. The 1% that had their goals written down were worth 10 times more than the 3% who were worth 2 times more than the 96%. So having your goals written down is surely a recipe for success. And if I can give a personal example, what we're doing with Sophia is that we're working on 3 strategic pillars. First and foremost, creating new products, like the mastermind product we're introducing in 2022 in January, and Sophia is going to talk about it in just a little while. Secondly, we want to have visibility because we need to be out there for people to see us, and we do it with this live streaming. Probably with the on-air mentoring, we're thinking of starting again in 2022. And with our bi-weekly newsletter, which you're more than happy to apply. I'm going to ask Sophia to drop it in the messages below after the episode is over. And last but not least, we're doing it with business development. Because if you don't develop your business, and if you have no customers or no customers coming in, if the pipeline is short, then the business will lose its oxygen and finally die. So at the end of the day, my dear friends, setting goals will help you succeed in the medium to long term. So that's principle number 2. And for principle number 3 and number 4, I will turn over the microphone to Sophia. Sophia, good morning, and join us, please.
Hello, everyone. So for tip number 3, I'm going to refer to one of my past experiences. One morning, my manager comes to me. Well, I thought I was doing a good job. I was working a lot. And he tells me, you need to hire someone for your team. And I was devastated for this fact. I was very sad. I didn't sleep at night because I thought he asked me to hire someone because he thought that I was not doing well. So I hired this person, and it turned out that this person was better than me in certain aspects, and he was taking a lot of stress from my day. And he was also helping me to dedicate my time in the things that were important, and I was bringing more value to the business like this. So tip number 4 is delegate. If you see that you are spending a lot of time in your day in things that you can give away, or if you see that you are working long hours, this is a signal for you to think, to delegate, and to bring more people to help you. And tip number 4, it comes after you delegate, and it's about how to manage your team. So block time to manage your team, and block time to have team meetings and one-to-one meetings. So in this job I was talking about before, I also hired a team of 5 persons, and they were working in shifts. And I spent a lot of time selecting them. I spent a lot of time training them. And then because I was very busy, I went back to my normal day-to-day, and I was passing on to see how they were anytime I had, a few minutes. So what happened was that the most extroverted of the team, they were coming to me with questions all the time. And the less or the more introverted, they were disappearing. I didn't know what they were doing. And I was learning afterwards that they were taking decisions that were not really, according to what I wanted. So in the end, I was spending a lot of time explaining and answering questions, whereas I could have a meeting with the team, a meeting with each person to clarify what they needed to do and clarify what I wanted them to do. So that's principle number 4. Block time to have meetings with your team and stick to the schedule. So I will pass it on to Michael to do the recap.
Thank you, Sophia. Some very interesting tips you have shared with us. Let's recap what we have said. Number 1, guard your time like you guard your bank account. Time is a finite resource, and we need to invest it in order to have the infinite pleasures of life. Tip number 2 is clearly define your goals. It is very important to set goals because there isn't time to do everything in life, but there is time to do, Sophia, the most important things in life. Number 3, no man or woman is an island, so delegate, as Sophia has correctly told us. By delegating, she was able to do more. By delegating, dear viewer, you can do more as well. But you need to train those people. So block time for your team. They will respect it. They will appreciate it. And at the end of the day, both your department, your company, and yourself will win. So in closing, and before I get to your comments, because there are many comments coming in, I would like to refer to Parkinson's law, Sophia, which says time expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. So if you give somebody 1 hour to do a task, it will take them 1 hour. If you give them 2 hours, it will take them 2 hours most probably. I remember when we were living with a tiny apartment with my wife and son Rolando, and we had a lady, it took her 8 hours to clean the apartment even though it was small. After she left and we hired another one, we only had her for 2 hours per day. She used to do it in 2 hours. So that was 400 plus effectiveness and less hours. So Elon Musk is right. Instead of dividing your day into hours or days, divide your day into chunks of small pieces of time, and you will become more effective and more efficient by following the 4 principles we've just said. Sophia?
Great advice.
Let's see some of the comments coming in. Andre, how you doing, my friend? Great to see you. Thank you very much. I'm so happy that you like it. We'll present this to my executive team here. It's an honor and a pleasure. Please feel free to project this episode to them. It will be a pleasure. Richard Pettinger, the head of business school at UCL, it's an honor for you to be on our show. Thank you very much. Nick, how you doing, Nick? Long time no speak. Good morning to you. Oh, George, how you doing? My Romanian friend, good morning. Victoria, how you doing? Good morning. LinkedIn user, I cannot see from here who you are. Just drop me a note who you are, name and surname. I can see it if I go into LinkedIn, but I cannot see it from here. Every word that you share with us is a small piece of gold. Thank you. I'm so happy. Our friend Sergios is here. Good morning. And guys, we need to call it a day. We said with Sophia, we'll keep it up to 12 to 13 minutes maximum, short and sweet. There are many more comments coming in, but thank you very much. And Sophia, would you like to make a last announcement on anything else that we have for people to know?
Yes, if you noticed in the past episodes, we are talking about leadership. We are talking on how to manage your team. And I want to bring your attention to our mastermind. Let me bring it to the screen in just a second. So we are organizing this mastermind. We start in January. It's an application-only mastermind because we want to carefully select the people that can bring value to the group. And it is for people who want to up-level their career and who want to become leaders of change in their organization. It will span over the length of 8 weeks, and we will have virtual training lessons every week for 2 hours. We will have reading material, and we will have also a project for you to do during your learning time. So you make sure that you apply what you learn, and also make friends forever that will help you to advance your career. So if you're interested, I suggest you click on the link below. It's bit.ly/futurel and complete the application. It will take a few minutes. We are looking at every application that comes in, and we will reply to you once we are ready with the leaflet and tell you if you are selected. So that's it from me.
Thank you very much, dear friends and fans. Note that you cannot click on that link, but we will drop it in the messages. So if you're watching it recording, you can click on it. We will drop that as well. Thank you very much. Have a productive week ahead. Thank you very much, Sophia, for being so organized, and catch you all back here next Monday. Take good care. Take good care. Bye to everyone.